Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Thursday, just after Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of Saturday's trip to Manchester City, all done via Zoom, of course. We've just finished speaking to Arteta, so I thought I'd pop on here and just update you on what the Arsenal boss had to say, what he suggested, and how things are shaping up ahead of that game at the Etihad. Before I quickly get into that, let's just go over the niceties as always. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support on this channel. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, thank you for the subscriptions. And if this is your first time stumbling across this channel, like I said, I am Charles Watts, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal. I cover the club up and down the country at all press conferences, and I record these videos to try and keep you as updated as I possibly can about all things Arsenal. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Charles_Watts. I'm on Facebook as well, and obviously all the latest news is on goal.com for Arsenal. All my stories go up there, so please do head over to Goal and find all your Arsenal news there as well. Right, let's get going, shall we? Like I said, we've just come off the Zoom press conference with Mikel Arteta, and the big news really from that probably revolves around Kieran Tierney. Now, we know Kieran Tierney has been in self-isolation for over a week now. That self-isolation period is due to end on this coming Monday because he's been deemed in close contact with Stuart Armstrong, the Scotland international, who tested positive for coronavirus during the international break. It looks like, it certainly looked like Arsenal were probably going to have to be without Kieran Tierney this weekend for the game against Manchester City because his 2-week isolation period doesn't end till the Monday. But Arsenal are hopeful. Mikel Arteta has just revealed that Tierney could still be involved this weekend. Discussions have been going on with the authorities up in Scotland, basically ever since Tierney was put into self-isolation, to try and get him back down to London. So far, the Scottish authorities haven't been playing ball, but there are more discussions planned for this afternoon, and Mikel Arteta is hoping that those discussions might result in Kieran Tierney being allowed to come back down to London and link up with the Arsenal squad ahead of Saturday's game. His exact quotes when asked if he'll be available on Saturday, Mikel Arteta said, "I hope so. This is all getting very complicated when we are sending players abroad, and obviously you lose control. Some authorities have different regulations to the actual ones in the Premier League. We are still having some discussions with the authorities, and hopefully we will know more this afternoon." So a big few hours coming up in terms of Kieran Tierney and whether he will be available for Arsenal to play against Manchester City. Obviously, we all hope he will be because he's a very good player, and I think he certainly improves Arsenal if he is in that defence, whether it be in a back four, at left back, or on the left side of the back three. So keep logging on to goal.com, keep checking out my social media channels, because as soon as I hear any news regarding Kieran Tierney, I will post it online. Mikel Arteta obviously speaking about Thomas Partey during today's press conference. That was a big theme of the questions. It's the first time we've had the chance to speak to Arteta since the deadline day arrival of Thomas Partey. He revealed that Partey's first training session will be today. He arrived on Tuesday. There wasn't obviously a group training session yesterday. A lot of the players from international duties are due back today, and that first training session with Thomas Partey involved will be today at London Colney. Now, will Thomas Partey be involved against Manchester City? He has said he is ready, he is prepared to play against Manchester City. He's totally fit, we know that. He played for Ghana during the international break. He's been playing for Atletico Madrid this season. And Mikel Arteta was asked about chances of Partey being involved this weekend, and here's what he had to say. He said, "Thomas is getting familiar with everything around the club. Today he will have his first training session, so everything has come really quickly for him. We knew that before we signed him, that he is really fit. He is willing to start playing, and we will see how it goes in the next few days. He needs to do a training session first. We'll see how it goes in the next 48 hours, and then we'll make a decision as to whether he plays or not." So there is a chance Thomas Partey will be involved against Manchester City. I think he probably will be. I'll be surprised if he's not. Whether he starts is another thing, but I certainly think he'll be in the squad. Like I said, he's fully fit. He's not a youngster, and so I expect him to be involved this weekend when Arsenal go to Manchester City. Mikel Arteta obviously going to have a close look at him over the next day or so. Now, will anyone leave on loan? The transfer window is still open. The domestic transfer window is still open until 5 p.m. on Friday. There's been lots of interest in Arsenal players. Saliba, we know, has had discussions, was very close to joining St Etienne on loan on deadline day. He ran out of time for that move to go ahead. Arsenal have been in talks with Championship clubs regarding Saliba over the last 2 weeks. and Arsenal have been weighing up the decision whether or not to send him on loan to the Championship or to keep him. He's not in the Europa League squad, obviously, so he can't play in that competition in the group stages anyway. We'll have to wait and see whether he makes it into the Premier League squad. But Mikel Arteta says he will be staying at Arsenal. He simply said yes when asked whether he'll be staying. And when he was also asked, would anyone else be leaving on loan before Friday's deadline? And he said, not at the moment. So leaving the door a little bit ajar, perhaps, for something to happen. But he says not at the moment. So that would mean Reece Nelson stays, Emile Smith-Rowe stays, Saliba stays. So not any more loanees heading out the door at Arsenal, certainly in terms of the senior players anyway, according to Mikel Arteta. Now, Arsene Wenger has been a big topic at the discussion in the last week or so. He's got his book coming out. Well, his book is out, in fact, so he's been doing lots of media. He was on TalkSport this morning. He's been doing lots of media. He's been doing it on BBC. And a big part of that book was talking about his exit from Arsenal and how he's never been back there. And Mikel Arteta was asked about that and whether he would like to see Arsene Wenger, obviously the man who signed him for Arsenal as a player, whether he would like to see him back around at the club. And he very much says he would be. Here's what Mikel Arteta had said. I would like to see him back around us. He was a massive figure for me and he's someone that I can still learn a lot of things from, and I would like to have him closer to us. Obviously, the actual environment doesn't allow us to do it. We're talking about COVID there. But I think he's a figure that has to be very present in what we do at the football club because he is, in my opinion, the one who had the vision that helped this club evolve to what it is today. So Mikel Arteta very keen to see more of Arsene Wenger around Arsenal. We're yet to see the Frenchman back at the Emirates since that final game against Burnley when he waved goodbye to everyone at the end of his final season at the club. And lastly, one of the key points from today's press conference was about whether Mikel Arteta has signed a new contract. Obviously, he's not Arsenal head coach anymore, he's Arsenal manager. So what does that mean? Has he been rewarded with a new contract? Well, no, he hasn't. He was asked whether he'd been given one. He said, no, it's the way we are moving structure right now because we believed it was going to be more efficient, talking about his promotion to the manager's role. We made a lot of changes and we are still adapting. So no new contract for Mikel Arteta yet. But when asked whether he wants a new contract, he said, yes, but I have to earn that. Now, in football, you have to earn it every week and things change really quickly. So we have to be on our toes. So Mikel Arteta, no new contract for him yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen at some point in the near future. Arsenal obviously very happy with the work Mikel Arteta is doing, and rightly so. He's already won him an FA Cup in the short space of time he's been there. He's completely transformed the club from top to bottom, transformed the mood at the club, transformed the squad, and I think that's only going to continue as he continues to get his feet under the table at the Emirates and continues to improve and pick up the pieces left by the last couple of regimes. So that's about it from the key points from today's press conference. I hope this was a knowledgeable video and it's helped you get used to how things are shaping up ahead of Saturday. I will pop back on probably tomorrow to do a video looking at the latest Arsenal team news against the game against Manchester City, updating you on any other news that has happened between now and then, and giving my predicted 11 for the trip to the Etihad. Please do look at the videos below here. I've done my Q&A this week. If you haven't seen it already, part 1 and part 2 is now online for you to watch, talking about various topics, transfers, Houssem Aouar, Saliba, just loads and loads. All your questions that you sent in during the week, I appreciate them all, and I've done my best to answer them as best as I can. So please do head down and check those 2 videos out as well. Thank you once again for all your support on this channel, and please do log on to goal.com for all your Arsenal news. I will post the link to the story about Kieran Tierney in the description box below, so you can find it there if you want to give that a read. Thank you everyone, enjoy your day, and I will speak to you soon.